on, you guys? My name is Morgan. Welcome back to another video. So I'm doing my best not to cry during this video. I'm going to try not to cry because the day has been absolutely horrible. If you can tell behind me, there's a new portrait up there. I've done a lot of shorts with him. I've talked about him a lot, and unfortunately, as of today, Duke has passed away. So if you didn't know, Duke was in heart failure. He was in end-stage heart failure. It came about in less than a year. He had his elderly senior appointment, just doing blood work and the like, and everything was fine. And then he went back, and the vet said, "This is what's going on." So he went from fine to heart failure, because I remember I had taken him because he had been coughing up blood, and there was nothing wrong. We did everything on him, and he was fine. And then a year later, he goes back, and he's in heart failure. So that's how quickly it came on. And heart failure, or anything with the heart in dogs, it can be hard to miss. So it came on very, very quickly, and then it got worse from there. So the last 2 weeks, Duke has been suffering more. He's gotten sicker. He has started dealing with dementia. He fell asleep in some of the weirdest spots that he's never slept in before. He stopped remembering who I was some days. Most days, actually. Most days he doesn't remember me. When I am coming in through the door, he's the only one that's not in a kennel because of his age. I'll come in and he won't come up to me anymore. He's gotten upset with Rosemary, who is was his best friend. He's just been sleeping in the weirdest spots that he's never slept in before. And he wasn't himself. He's gotten angry. When some of the puppies would run into him, the younger dogs that weigh maybe 5 pounds, 2 pounds, he would scream bloody murder. His quality of life had diminished significantly where no medication would fix it. So with just me and the dogs, I made the decision to let him go today. He was taken care of by his favorite vet that had been taking care of him, and she cried. I bawled like a baby, and she cried. I took Ruby with me for moral support because I couldn't take Rosemary. Rosemary does not like the vet. She doesn't like being around a lot of people very quickly. So she gets a little wolfy. She gets a little barky, and I wasn't going to put a muzzle on her for this. When she barks, I don't want her to bark in a vet's office, so we have a little duckbill muzzle for her. So I just didn't feel like that she deserved that during one of these times. So I took Ruby for moral support, and Ruby knew what was going on. This was actually the second time she's been with me for a euthanasia. The first time was with Dot, when Dot passed away. So I felt comfortable taking Ruby, and being that Ruby's almost his age, she's a little bit younger, I felt like it was the best decision. But we have a Duke portrait up there now with Duke's picture and name on it. And I moved Demeter over to be closer to Dot. I know that he's not alone, and I think that's one of the things that provides me comfort, because Dot will take care of him up there in heaven, in doggy heaven. But it doesn't make me feel much better, because this loss has left a significant hole in my heart. And I knew that if I tried to give him more time, it'd get worse. I did that with Dot. I let her have an extra week, and she got worse and worse and worse in a short amount of time, to the point that I felt horrible letting her keep going the way she went. So I knew that I couldn't do that with Duke, and I knew it would be better. I knew he'd be okay. Oh gosh. I'm doing my best not to cry. I cried the entire way home. I broke down and cried when I got home. I'll probably cry some more because I miss him. But even though I know it's best, it doesn't make it any easier on me to think about. His puppies are the ones that he's seen as his family have been looking for him. Nix has been looking for him. Rosemary looked for him. The house has changed quite a bit. But overall, we're doing our best. We're not doing very good, but we're doing our best. And I was spending as much time with him as possible between my last video and now, because I knew something was coming, because he just kept getting worse and worse and worse. It's been over 2 weeks now. But I have to say, I'm definitely not okay right now. In the last 2 months, or month and a half, I've rescued a puppy with hydrocephalus that I had to take to the emergency vet and ultimately decide to let her cross the Rainbow Bridge. And then I had one of my dogs that I had rescued. He was 2. Um, they found a tumor in his brain that affected his behavior. He ended up attacking one of my dachshunds, and the tumor had been pressing on a certain part of his brain, so we ended up having to let him go too. Bottom line is, it's been a rough month and a half, and I'm doing my best. I feel like I'm doing okay, but I'm really not. The bed he slept in is mainly vacant. The dogs will look at it and then walk away because they're like expecting him to come back and want his bed because that's his bed. So it's definitely not been fun today. But anyway, I kind of just wanted to make a brief, kind of tell you all what's going on. We'll be back to regular scheduled programs after this video. I've got a lot to I want to get back to the regular videos and talk about some revelations with Vel, and then Heimdall. I'll go a little bit more into depth on Heimdall and talk about the hydrocephalus baby and her issues. And I've got a bunch of treats for Ghost and Rue and Gertie to try. Probably just Ghost and Rue. Gertie's a little bit big for me to put in my lap. But we will definitely get there. It's just not right now. So I'm going to probably go spend time with the dogs and rest a little bit because I just don't feel entirely here. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as usual, guys, I'll see you guys next week in the next video. See you guys later.